Welcome everyone. It is September 28th, 2022, and we are in imminent nuclear danger. So, you know, just the usual nowadays. I woke up really pumped to stream today. I was a bit iffy the last two days, but that's okay. I've been a little bit sick. Just keeping myself hydrated, drinking some tea, getting some rest, and doing a little bit of work on the backside of things. As you can probably tell, I still sound a little bit weird, but that's okay. And I found out that the new Pokemon games will have, I think it's a legendary Pokemon that is, or they act as motorbikes. I legitimately don't know what Game Freak is thinking of right now to come up with these ideas. Like, you can use the HM Fly, so unless the world is interesting to see, I don't know how having motorbikes will help with anything. But I mean, you do have the bike function before you have the fly. And I'm just looking, my bitrate is all over the place. Okay, let's hope that's not a bad thing. I've noticed that in the last VOD, YouTube left it with 3060, not 3060, 360p. I don't know exactly what happened there, so I hope that figures itself out, because I really don't know how to figure that one out. And yeah, currently looking on how to make clips. So there's that. And yeah, so for today we're going to be drawing Miraidon, and I cannot express how humbled I was with working with MS Paint yesterday. I hope I don't have to pick it up again anytime soon. If you have a keen eye, you might notice two different things. One, I'm using pretzel rocks because I don't want to get copyright claimed, which might later down the line affect social media and things like that. So, keeping it a $1.50, being honest, and not committing any illegalities. Even though it wasn't my intention, it's hard to keep track of copyrighted content. So this way I can make sure that I don't do anything stupid. And also, the second thing, the follower goal, I changed it from 50 to 30, since having a lot of followers is not my goal. And I'm pretty sure, like, the next 5 followers is probably gonna bring someone that will like to join the stream. So yeah, we're not really aiming for big numbers. We're just aiming for people in the chat, or at least people lurking and having this in the background, which is also why I upload the VODs, so that people have something playing in the background while I'm working. And yeah. So we are going to be drawing Miraidon, as I've said previously. Let me just zoom in on the reference sheet. Alright, so we don't have a lot of I'm gonna close the navigator for now. We're just gonna be working on some rough poses. So they are more of a shape that goes back and then goes forward and then goes back, rather than, for instance, a Pokemon like Rayquaza, which likes to go also to the sides. So we need to take that into consideration, since Rayquaza is very thin in relation to its length, right? So that works for him. I mean, not him, them, since legendaries don't have gender. In the case of Miraidon, they're really good at coming up with shapes for that. Right, we could do maybe like this. We cannot see it from the front because it's gonna look like a penis. Right. Trying to understand how will I work with the shape that I'm given, I mean. Yeah, no matter what I do, it's still gonna look a bit like a penis, so. I know it doesn't look like anything just yet, but you know, give me some time trying to figure out shapes here. Maybe I could do something like mid-transformation. I think this is also saving the time lapse, so I might upload that one. We're gonna switch it. Yeah. Let's and also let's create a new one just in case I need to go on a tangent. You know, speaking to the chat or something. Because in Plainarty's time-lapse, everything is very weird. And so you can see a lot of interactions with the... Sorry. You can see a lot of interactions with the chat. I'm just adjusting the mic volume a little bit. You can see a lot of interactions with the chat, me drawing random stuff, and in the time-lapse it's not that pretty. So yeah. I think what I'm gonna do... I'm still trying to understand how it would work. I think I got it, but it's kind of weird. All right. Let's, so it's gonna be like a circle thing, and we're gonna have the arm, right? Because that's pretty much it. Right there. The chest. I'm gonna have to scale it down because it has the head thingies. It's a weird thing because it's like hollow here. It does like this. So yeah. Just loose sketching to fully understand what it is that I am looking at here. You know, they have these things in the shoulder. They are almost like the handles. And big forearms, thin arms. It pulls it out of his chest. We're gonna do something like this, right? This part is becoming a little bit trickier. I think we can still do it. Indicate where tail is. Kind of looks like a ghost, like that. It's liking the legs. Okay, I'm sort of understanding the shape of it, but it has really weird legs. Alright. Okay, so it's further in the back, the tail. So maybe we can ignore this tail and work something else out. Right. What if we do something like this instead? Would that work? I can always have the tail do something like this. It cannot be too big either. So that's the seat right there. Tail. Right, so like this, and I'd have to fix a few things like there. It's actually not bad, I think, overall. I have to. Oop, I got the ruler. I don't need that much space, or that much more space. This should be good. And that's for the eyes. Just things there. So I had an idea. I don't know when I'm gonna do this, but it's something that I really want to do. Like, for a long time, I've been having this idea of drawing the entire Pokédex. But yesterday, I had an idea that it feels like good content. What if I drew the entire Pokédex in one sitting, right? And I know it sounds crazy, but I've seen the entire Pokédex on Bulbapedia. Currently, there are 905 different species not including their regional forms and things like that, right? So we have 905 species. I can stream from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we have 9 hours, right? Which is, if I'm not mistaken, 540 minutes. So we can just say it's more or less 30 seconds per Pokemon, which I know it's absolutely crazy to do, right? Because like even if we took 1 minute per Pokemon, we would take, so if it's 1 minute per Pokemon, 905 minutes, it would be around 15 hours, I think. 15 hours. Not impossible. Not impossible. Like there are some Pokemon that are really like easier to draw, you know. Like there are a lot of Pokemon that have this sort of shape to them, right? So like things like that. I'm not talking about detailed sketches or anything. I don't know if you have any suggestions and things like that. I always appreciate it because I want to make sure that I'm doing things that are interesting for my viewers. And yeah, we are going to, now we're going to open the navigator, definitely. Keep it like that. All right. Yeah. I've also already set up the Shorts channel. I've been learning how to do TikToks. Because I know Twitch is necessarily a good place to grow on its own. So, yeah. I'm gonna be learning editing as well. I already know a little bit, but nowhere near enough to make something that is worth watching. So, gonna be on the lookout for that one. I actually really enjoy the design of this Pokemon. I think it's a bit weird, but overall, it's really, really cool. Yeah. And I think having the difficulties of working on paint kinda revived my liking for joining Clip Studio. Like the line quality, the smoothness of it, and the fact that if I want to paint in a certain specific part, I can just select it. It's it kind of made me appreciate what I have. So in that sense, I thank Paint for that. But I also hope it burns and crashes and explodes. Going to be smart about this ellipse. No. First size, we're gonna make it a little bit bigger, not so big. Like this. Rotate a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna make it like this. It's actually not a bad place to put it. Just do this. See, if it wasn't paint, I don't know if I could have even worked with ellipses like that. I think it has a function with ellipses, but like everything's ridiculously hard for no apparent reason. I'm gonna now delete this part. This one. Yeah. That. I think later on I'm gonna add some sort of effect to the wheel, because it just feels like it's holding the wheel through some sort of action at a distance, right? Like magnets or something. Magnets, how do they work? I love that video. Yeah. Something like that. Like this. Yeah, this is cool. The shoulder. Ooh, they really complicated this one. Let's uncomplicate it. Gonna add these shapes. And there. Here. So. Back. Goes under the arm. Like that. And then just simple stuff. Like make it look cybernetic, I guess. Some sort of futuristic. Since it's Miraidon and Mirai is future in Japanese. I think that's what they intended with it. I may be completely wrong on that one. It appears like it has things on the side. And here as well, so we're gonna do it like that. Right. On the back side, there isn't a lot of clarity just yet, so we're gonna be working with what we got, and something like. I think this is good enough. And round and then down. Bubbles here, and then like this, like that. Maybe we can so it's a bit more angular. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good sketch. But also, a thing that I noticed the other day is all of the Pokemon games are in the same nation, right? And it doesn't make sense. Like, because we call it the Kanto region, we call it the Johto region, right? And they're all based on at least those two, the Hoenn. I don't know if Sinnoh is based on a Japanese region, right? But those three that I mentioned are based on existing regions in Japan, right? And then you have places like, I think, Galar that are based in I think it's Galar, I'm not sure now, that are based on Great Britain. And I'm like, it's every region is so different in terms of technology and things like that. Well, the series also spans more than 20 years of story, right? But everything is so different, and yet we still call them regions, and every single Pokédex is from the national Pokédex, not the world Pokédex or something like that. So it's really weird. I don't know if people thought of that, right? Because it feels really weird. I'm actually gonna sketch this. I said I wasn't gonna, but I think it's best. Yeah, because at the end of almost every game, I think Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, you need the full regional decks to have the national. But in other games, you finish the Pokemon League and you get the national decks, right? And that has always confused me in a way. Like, why? I'm gonna decrease the size. There we go. Increase this as well. Gesture. It's not gesture, but whatever. Sketch. Build. Sketch. Just making sure that I wrote it accordingly. We can use this color. Yeah, I think we'll use that one. Also, I hope the music isn't too loud. I haven't leveled it with Pretzel Rocks, but the audio says it's fine, so. Okay, detailed sketch where we do everything. I'm also getting more comfortable with digital art, which is a good thing. the Pokemon style is very recognizable, but at the same time it's very simple, right? And it's like these very defined lines to it. I was thinking about it the other day. Drawing a Pikachu is probably harder than it looks, because its image is so engraved in our heads in a design sense, but in terms of shape, it's really hard to describe its shape, right? Like if I went here and try to draw Pikachu, it would be something like what this is the body. I'd say these are the hands, but then like the face is really easy to mess up because it has a very specific I don't even know if it's something like this. And it's something like this. Right? And then I think it's like this. And really just... Oh my god, yeah, drawing without reference, even for artists. Oh, actually the lightning, I think it's like this. Right. Or did I fuck it up? I fucked it up, right. Oh my god. Okay, something like this. And I don't remember if it had this. And I know that males are straight in the edge of the tail and females have this. I actually learned it by myself. You know what? I'm gonna keep the doodle. I'm gonna keep the doodle. Yeah, so like, you can sort of see that it's a Pikachu, but it's like way different. Yeah. Been enjoying this music. Not as nostalgic as the Pokemon music. And I wasn't having too much trouble with it, but it's kind of hard to find such long playlists that don't provoke copyright problems. But in the last 3 VODs, I haven't had any problems, so... Ooh. One thing that I'm thinking of doing, perhaps, is instead of this might be more manageable. Instead of rushing through the Pokédex, since we're going to be doing this like every week, right? 5 times a week. What we can do is actually maybe focus on drawing one Pokemon every week, and then post it on Twitter or something like that. That might be interesting. Right. And at the rate that they're launching Pokemon, I'm gonna have content forever, pretty much. But like you have 5. There's 52 weeks, assuming that I can do 52 weeks in a year. It's gonna be what? 10 is 500. 10 is 500. 15 is 750. It's almost 20 years. That's how ridiculous it is. So, but who knows? In the future, I might be able to stream longer. In the far future, though, not in the near future. There's a lot of things that I want to still figure out about video making and things like that. So doing like that. Also, yeah, because it's a Pokemon, it doesn't look so bad once it's flipped. Also, this should be over the wheel. Yeah, just like that. I'm kind of fascinated by how many things there are to learn streaming, about video editing. So, dedicate some time to it. Also, now that I thought about it, daily reminder, tomorrow, at least supposedly, is when I find out if I got into my masters or not, which could be a very PogChamp moment or a very people sad moment. And for various reasons too, since if I do get in, making time for streaming is going to be harder. I guarantee it. So, yeah. Feeling like talking about a game that I played yesterday. So for those of you that don't know, I've mentioned this in a previous stream, but for those of you that don't know about this, I play TFT. It's casual, and I don't play it every day, so I just play it for fun. And yesterday, I went to play with some friends of mine, and this is more for the people that actually understand about the game. I'm not gonna, explain the basics of it, but I got I usually insist in making a very defensive comp to the point where the rounds extend so much that it ends in a draw. Because I think that's really stupid, but I get a little fun out of it. right? Then people get super frustrated that they can't end the match on time. And you know, I'm big brain guy. You know, people go into the game to play, and I just ruin the game completely for them. And what I ended up doing was I got Pandora's items. Which allowed me to get any item that I wanted. And for a defensive team like that, right, my units are just pretty much standing still without doing anything. So I just crafted like 4 Sunfires, and they were just standing next to the enemy team and burning them to death. That was so funny. Like, I used to do that in... I don't know if it was the previous... No, it wasn't the previous set. It was in the set 6.5, I think. The one that had the hex decks. I think it was 6.5. Because 7 was already dragons. And I used to do this thing where Jarvan would go full tank. And it's the same thing, pretty much. Like, my team would be super tanky. Hextech would give you shields every once in a while. And I thought it was hilarious. Right? People couldn't defeat my team. And my team didn't have enough damage to kill any other team either. But it was enough to stall the round. And everybody got super frustrated because whenever I did that, games would extend to almost an hour. And to me, that's hilarious. You know, it has the same energy as Inting Cyan. Like, it's a way of playing, but that is really not the way you should be playing it, right? But nobody can explain why you shouldn't be playing it that way. So, yeah. I might be a psychopath. I don't know. Okay, now we are going to do line arts. I'm feeling that this deserves bold line arts, so I think I'm going to do that. It also brings forward a bit of a how do you call it, character. Right? It brings a little bit of character into the Pokemon itself. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna use this brush. Not this size. We're painting on the wrong layer. Maybe a 15. Yeah, that is thick. All right. So, very bold. But, you know, experimenting with my style is something that I enjoy very much, and it keeps the experience fresh for everyone. You can't really predict how. Why am I? Okay, I was increasing it, but for some reason it was decreasing the size of the brush. But yeah, it keeps the experience fresh, you know? Yo, people! What is up? I missed you yesterday. I'm sure you had things to do, but yesterday was a hard day for me, and you missed it. But honestly, thank God that you missed it. Yesterday I did the challenge for the 25 follower goal, and I can show it. Let me bring it up. Where is it? folder. Here. It is... Look at this, dude. I did this in Paint. It took me 4 hours. And I had to figure out a way of painting it faster. I did this in Paint. And I'm very proud of myself. But if you want to like skim through the stream, you know, just to see what you missed, I do have a VODs channel on YouTube. So, but yeah, that was it. It was ridiculous. Like, imagine, right? I'm doing line art right now, and there are 3 layers here. One for the preliminary sketch, another one for just the simplified, another one for the detailed, and now another one for the line art. And in Paint you don't have layers. You're on a phone now. Well, but so that implies you were on the computer before. Did something happen to your computer? Now I'm worried, dude. Like, did your computer explode or something? My disk while waiting for... Oh, right, you had mentioned that. Yeah. Okay, so you basically don't have... I'm assuming it's a desktop, and you probably don't have the right conditions now to... Yeah, got it. But they only delivered half of it. That's weird. What? What kind of decision is that? I mean, at least I'm assuming that you were not paying for like 2 deliveries, right? Because that's their fault. But even then, it's kind of weird that it came separated. Like, couldn't it be just a single package? It's through my work. What do you mean? It's through your work? Delivery company is blaming the supplier. Oh yeah. We all know the shitstorm that it is. Delivery company blames the supplier blames the client blames the delivery company, and when you wreck it all down, it's the cleaning staff's fault for not cleaning the floor properly or something. Yeah, it's always like that. SMH. Free monitor, chair, and desk. Holy god damn, that is good. That is good. Also, remind me again. I am with the impression that you worked in programming, right? Or am I wrong? I might be wrong on that. Let me just get the jacket out. It's too hot. Yeah, programming. Kind of hard to program without a decent place to put your computer. I understand your pain. I understand your pain. Definitely sucks. I'm gonna kind of delete these lines for now. Hey, but after all this hassle, you're gonna have a table that's like a 16th transformer, which is gonna be super dope, in my opinion. Like I've seen those desks, so those are pretty cool. And you know, healthier than the usual option. Did you finish Tanari? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Let me just finish this line. I did finish Tainari. I did some final adjustments that weren't on the stream, just because I showed it to a friend of mine, and they were like, "Oh, remember that it also has shadow cast in the grass." But yeah, this is the final thing. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm actually really proud of this one. You know what? I'm realizing it now. I could leave my works here on the side. I could leave them here on the side. I might think about it later on, because this is a lot of dead space, like layers and things. You don't need to see this unless you really ask for it. Yeah. Oh, I had to show you something. You mentioned this, and it was hilarious. What did you say? Maybe we'll pop more with autumn/orange leaves in the background. Yeah, maybe for the contrast. I don't know. I don't know, man. Gonna be honest, I'm kind of lazy to touch it now. It wouldn't even be hard because I could just do a clipping layer and a correction layer, and it would change everything. But yeah, so this is the video, right? The time lapse, and it happened exactly what you said it was gonna happen. Wait, it's not playing. Okay, wait, let's go back. Right, super fast, and the notations of the stream start appearing. Right, the Blitzcrank appears for like a frame. It's hilarious. Oh, jeez. I love this. I don't know if I'm gonna use it because it has a lot of flashing elements that are used for nothing. So that's why I'm with a second canvas, so that this one doesn't record any tangents that we might have on stream or something. But yeah, I thought it was really funny. And also, I mentioned that I might do something crazy, which is well, I said drawing, but honestly what I meant was sketching the entire Pokédex, right? And I've done the math, right? It's like you have 905 known species so far, and it would take you like I don't even it would take you like 9 hours if you did 30 seconds per Pokemon. It is ridiculous, right? And it has to be like very fast sketches. The references need to be well set up because there are a lot of Pokemon from the newest generations that I haven't seen, right? Like if I think it's an interesting idea, but at the same time, it's like very self-destructive. You gotta set something up to roll through them. Yeah. Because it would be ridiculous. The other idea that I had was like, because I am tied to a schedule, like a weekly schedule, maybe like have a specific day to draw a Pokemon, right? 100 follow special, maybe, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't even be hard because I could. The hardest part would be to get all of the images, crank it out on the weekend. Yeah, I could do that. But it's like the timed references aren't even the hard part. The hard part is just getting all of the references, because I can import them all into Premiere and set the timer for like 30 seconds. And, you know, for the next 5 hours, that's what I'm doing. Not 5 hours, for the next 9 hours. 9 hours. Yeah. And after that, I'm probably going to the hospital and putting a cast on my hand, because that would kill someone. Yeah. Because I've been thinking of ways of making art content on Twitch more interesting, right? More interesting, more interactive, and things like that. For now, it's just the good few of us here. So I'm sure some Pokemon fans have compiled something. I don't know though, it's not that popular of a series. What, Pokemon? Pokemon is not that popular of a series, are you kidding? Like, it's getting very, very popular. Like, Pokemon is getting to a ridiculous level of popularity nowadays. Oh, okay, sorry. Sometimes I have trouble distinguishing sarcasm in text form. I apologize. I just wish that they didn't like introduce a new gimmick each generation and ignore the previous ones. kind of infuriating. Like, oh, we introduced Mega Evolutions, and they stopped being relevant. And then, oh, we introduced Dynamax and Gigantamax, and they stopped being a thing. Right? And Z moves as well. I completely forgot about Z moves. I even have Pokemon Sun. Like, who? You know? I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like the format. I think it's Island Challenges on Pokemon Sun. They were really not that interesting, to be completely honest. I like the gym format. There might be nostalgia speaking, but I like the gym format. You know, just saving. Oh, alright, that's cool. Yeah. I think you weren't here when I mentioned this, but tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, right? Yeah, today is the 28th. Tomorrow, I'm gonna know the result to my application, to my master's degree application. So, as I've stated before, it's either going to be something really good or something really bad. But you know, even if I don't enter, I still have streaming to continue working, and that's something good. Yeah. I worked hard for it, but other people also worked hard for it, so it's a clash of fates, I guess. But I don't get discouraged, because when we apply to the course, we get this serial number, and they do it in order. So the lowest the serial number, the longest you've been trying to apply. And there are people out there that have very small serial numbers, so they have been applying for years now. And there are people that enter in what I assume is their first try. So I'm sure, if anything else, or if anything, I am sure everything will work out. Yeah, it's competitive. It's competitive because there are not a lot of degrees or in general courses about illustration and animation here. So the few that exist are very sought after. Yeah. Okay, this looks good. Also, in this piece, I'm going for a more bold approach. So it might be a little bit different from Tainari. I don't like to settle down to a specific style, even though it helps identify my work. This for any sort of portfolio? Yes, they do. I mean, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, because if you don't get accepted this year, I'm sure you could put a little more together by next time they take application. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, though, you might not know this. This is already the second time that I'm applying, right? So the first year that I did it, you know, it was a bit weak in terms of work. because I was focused on doing different types of art, not necessarily illustration. Even though it was what I wanted, it was not what was required for my bachelor's, because I did a bachelor's in multimedia. It's different. And my teachers discouraged me from working on illustration. But I did take electives on traditional painting and illustration and animation. So, yeah. Did they give you feedback? No, they do not give you feedback. So that's the harshest part of it. But this year I did search some people that knew some people from the jury. And it's not cheating because the jury changes every year, but it's basically like, in the perspective of a jury, what do they search in portfolios? And they were like, yeah, you could put more figure drawing stuff, more traditional stuff, and things like that. And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't put any of those. And the guy that I met was like, yeah, you have a lot of stuff that is pretty good, but you're not showing it to them, so they don't know. Like, you know, but they don't know. You gotta show it. And yeah. Also, I think in the previous year I included a lot of fan art, and I think that's not well regarded in portfolios. Like, a lot of it, you can put a little bit of fan art. Some schools don't accept it, but in my case, yeah. Oh yeah, feedback is incredible, right? And I think that's what guides us. It's like, if you don't have any feedback, you're working on a void, right? And you have no idea why things work. There are people out there that have a lot more knowledge than us, and if we have their feedback, we're being guided, right? It's like launching a missile. If you don't guide the missile, you're just shooting to the sky. That's it. It's the same thing as playing the lottery, pretty much. And like, if you have feedback, it's not to say that everything will go your way, but the chances are definitely higher. It's all a numbers game, and we need to know how to manipulate those numbers. At least that's kind of how I go about it. Luck is almost always involved, but we can like diminish that percentage of it. The way I think about it is like, luck is preparation and opportunity, you know? And sometimes people are prepared, but they don't have the opportunity, and sometimes they are not prepared, and the opportunity comes, and they completely miss it, right? I think I can show you some things that I did. Let me see. Here it is. I think it's this. I don't know. Oh, that's not it. Look at this. Right. This is from a place that is close to my place, okay? I think it was like for a month or so. I took one of those carts that old people usually use to carry groceries, and I used them to carry painting materials, just to go on the street and paint on site, you know? And I did that for like a month and a half or something. And I just dedicated myself to watercolor, right? And yeah, I'm not even joking. Like, this took me like 4 hours or something. A lot of layers and things like that. And ridiculous. I closed it. Shouldn't have closed it. Let me see. I have more stuff. I have a lot of stuff here. This is actually a thing from Skillshare. Like, they said, oh, you do this door in the beginning of the course and do this door at the end of the course. And this was the end, pretty much. The door that I did in the beginning of the course was pretty mid. And this one is like pretty nice. I got to understand better the properties of the paper and the watercolor and things like that. And it was like really informative. It's really nice. There's this one. I insisted a lot in not using any rulers. All done by hand. You know. I even figured out a way of making clouds here. Yeah. And gradation. Right. The street itself is not blue, obviously, but the ambient reflection of the sky makes it bluer the more it goes further away from us, because our vision is getting more and more parallel to the ground, and so it reflects more and more of the sky. Yeah. I did this one as a test for a concept. I ignored this completely. It was like I was trying like including colored pencil with watercolor, right? And trying to dry the focus here, like more detail here, less detail here. And doing different stuff, like it's in shadow. Yeah, it feels a bit like Hollow Knight. I just didn't have any original ideas at the moment, but whatever. But I wouldn't consider that an art, though. We're gonna diminish this a little bit in the line art section. But yeah. I also did some like painting studies. Like, let me see if I can find it. Photo studies. I did this one. Right? This took me days to make. Like, I put way too much detail onto things. But this is pretty much the interior of the gym that I go to. Right? It's not perfectly replicated, but it's pretty similar. It's insane. It was like days and days of work. It's ridiculous. In the actual gym, there are like more stuff back here. Also back here. Yeah. Even in the computer, it's like the most obvious part is the ground, the computer. But other than that, like, everything is just, I don't know. I can tell you one thing though, I won't feel very sad if I don't make it in. I'll just try again next year. I have time. In addition, painting, I've spent 7 hours plus on so far. Well, if you wanna show the painting, I'll be more than delighted to see it. And if you don't, I understand, I guess. There's not much that I can do about it if you don't want to show it. What is this? Oh, it's the arm. Doesn't work. Let's erase it. I can show you. Oh right, since you're on the phone, it's a bit complicated. No worries, no worries. Take your time, take your time. So I've noticed this. It's really nice how Pokemon don't have a lot of lines to it, so you can just oh my, like I'm on for an hour and a half and I already have this. Absolutely fantastic. Get a little bit heavier there. All right. Oh, damn. That is really good. The hands in particular. Like, the hands are really, really nice. Really, really nice. Like, I wouldn't even touch the hands anymore. The nose is already well defined as well. Yeah, it shows. It shows. It's really insane. Honestly, if you just keep the hands and the face defined, like really well defined, they become the focal point, and you can sort of quote unquote blur the rest, right? Like, there's no need to define everything, the jacket and things like that, the jacket or shirt or whatever he's wearing don't need to be super defined, right? And, oh, sorry. And that will help guide the eye towards the hands and the face. This is really good. And the rim lighting already indicated. Yeah. Really, really good study. I'm very impressed. Also, I did a thing where I tried, what was it? It's photo bashing, I think, but it's like very simple photo bashing. Why is it opening with that? Look at this. Because I was like, oh, I want to make a guy walk through a wheat field. But I don't want to withdraw the Wii feel. Ah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I mean, knowing programming and studying art, that is a task, right? But yeah, so I just got a bunch of photos from aerial fields and just started bashing everything together, you know? There's like 5 or 6 different photos here. And then I kind of changed the atmosphere and things like that. But yeah. There's a study that I'm really proud of. Look at this. I really like this one. I felt like I wanted to paint clouds. I did this one. It's like one of those cliche images, but I kind of like it. Sets up a nice mood. This was all part of the photo studies that I sent them. Yeah. The clouds look like they're made of cotton candy. I really enjoy it. There's this one, but this one was more like a quick one. I was just like trying brushes and things like that. Didn't focus too much on it. An anime transition. Yeah. When something happens and sky shot, and then another thing's gonna happen. Yeah. We've all seen enough anime to understand that. Pan up to the sky. Oh, true. But I think the pan up to the sky is more infuriating than anything. I know that anime is very hard to make, right? Like not cost effective at all. But Jesus Christ, that is beyond insane as a visual experience. Pan to the sky. Man. Intimidated by drawing clouds. I understand that feeling. But really, you should face it like any other element. It seems hard at first because, you know, they look very fluffy. But not that hard. Not that hard to draw. I mean, it depends. Like, if you're painting them on paint, yeah, it's gonna be hard. I can tell you right now, it's gonna be hard. But if you try, of course, with references, don't do that out of your own head, because then it's really gonna be hard. But if you do it with references and good ones, I think you will enjoy it. It's a bit different. A lot of times, we are afraid of drawing things because we are also afraid of seeing shitty drawings. Case in point, the paint session, right? But you gotta do it. You gotta do it, you know? It's new experiences, new perspectives. And yeah. That's why I enjoy like painting all sorts of stuff. Realistic, anime, you name it, cartoon. I did cartoon character design. Let me see. Character design. Yeah, look. This is like way into Western cartoon stuff, not so much anime, right? And I still find it funny. No, not funny, like entertaining, in a sense, to make. It's a whole other field. Yeah, the user shapes helps simplifying the character, making it easier to draw, but also making the silhouette more recognizable. There were a lot of stuff that I put on, like a lot of different stuff that I put on my portfolio. I put human figure. Like, you want to see human figure? I do this with pen. Right. Yeah. It's some little horns. Yeah. There are more. Like this one, I think it's a very well-known Pinterest reference. By the way, this is when I started understanding that thing that we talked about of the 3D perspective in the human body, right? So like there would be a vanishing point here where everything goes, and here it doesn't work as well because the shoulders lifting up. But if it was neutral, it would be like this, and so the head would be more like that. It's a lot of and this is pretty much what I was saying the other day. Like, in traditional, I feel like my drawing is more loose, and the results in traditional feel better than in digital because I'm not used to digital yet. It's a completely different workflow because of the Control Z, very dynamic poses. Yes. I think to show mastery, not mastery, but like to show knowledge, dynamic poses are good. Do you have these poses anywhere? Yo, I'm gonna be honest, I compiled these for the portfolio, so I think most of these aren't anywhere. I don't even remember exactly what I have. Like, I know I have Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube on the channel, but it's like there are some old works that I no longer remember, and there are works that I haven't posted anywhere. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. But it's like, now this is more of a personal question. Like, if you saw these anatomy studies in the feed of some social media, like, would you be interested in them, right? Because my idea is, like, most people walk past through anatomy studies. I don't know. station. Oh, I do have one, but I don't know why I tend to forget that I have an art station. It just feels like such a forgettable social media, you know? I see great work there, but at the same time, I don't see... It's very frightening, right? Because I don't see amateur work on ArtStation. Original art and studies. Yeah. Let me see. ArtStation. Because once I go to the feed, right? It's daunting. Like, everything is so professional and high quality. I don't see any amateur stuff, which is more or less where I would categorize myself, right? So, kind of afraid of posting anything there, really. Right, I'm looking at it right now. Like channels. Explore. And man. I guess. Yeah. The thing is, I've been feeling better about my art since I've been consuming less art media. You know? Like I did with Twitch, I might do it sometime. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is the way that we should do things. Like other people crack the why things work. So there is no problem in us you know, following in their footsteps. But Jesus Christ. If you want to feel good, just scroll down Twitch art section. I mean, anyone can stream, right? So streaming isn't inherently the equivalent of being a good artist. I think I'm proof of that. I'm not throwing shade at anyone, okay? I swear. But yeah, like anyone or almost anyone can stream. Like, let me see, Twitch. I hope the audio isn't on. It isn't, but you know, like, and besides, like, the art stream usually has around 10k viewers at any given point, right? Like, I'm way down. The cool thing about the art category is that you can actually scroll until the end. Because, like, the top stream has, I think, 1.2k viewers now. So that's more than a tenth of the entire category focused on one single stream. If it's any consolation, I had a class with a pro illustration, and she said most applicants in the industry here are terrible. The industry there in Australia, then. That's actually surprising. But it's like lack of illustration education investment, or because that's actually surprising. Because my country's small. Like, let me think. No, let me search. Australia. Okay, you have 26 million. That's like 2.5 times the population of my country, right? So it's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe people aren't interested in illustration in Australia. I don't know. That's really weird. Yeah, I like the line art of this one better because there is no transparency to it. Like, there's a little bit, but not too much. I like it. Like, Alright, we're gonna do... Actually, we're gonna put a folder. Just in case. Maybe including overseas/internet applicants. Yeah, maybe. I think the line art is all closed, so we're gonna be a little bit smart about this. Yeah, already like this. Yeah. Alright. Not gonna waste like 4 hours coloring again. He needs a more rich. Yes, I know very English. Yes, a richer blue. Yeah, I see people use fields all the time. Yeah, like, I'm being completely stupid. Like, if the line art is already so tidy, why don't I remember of using the fill tool? I'm an absolute idiot. Alright. We go blue, desaturated. Oh, that's also the color, so... That is not the color of it, whatever. Paint that one manually, no worries. Yeah. Hello? Okay. And you know, remembering these tools and practicing. Like, for me, the important thing is to practice the actual method, to get faster at it, so that I can have more time to make more decisions. Come on, it's digital painting, not taking advantage of the entire toolkit. It's stupid on my part, I'm gonna say. Yeah. Thanks. What else? The hands are lighter, so we're gonna do them lighter. How will they work? Right. You saw nothing? I didn't panic there for a second. Saw nothing. Now there's this weird blue. I'm thinking, I'm processing the information. We're gonna make it slightly lighter and more bluish. Maybe a little lighter. Alright. Now I'm gonna need to draw a little bit. Oh, this is not blue enough. Also, if you have ideas for challenges and things like that, I would massively appreciate, because it's hard to come up with ideas to torture myself. Because I'm not a masochist, so... Wait, why does it... Okay. This is from the new games that are coming out soon. I think they haven't come out yet, which are Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. And it's really weird because they have these are the box art Pokemon, which are Koraidon and Miraidon. This is Miraidon, and for some reason you can ride them as motorcycles. That's why the stream title is the way that it is. And it's like really weird. Right, when I saw it I was like, what? Say it again. It's Generation 9 now, and if Nintendo continues its tendency for games, by Generation 10 we will have a farming simulator on a Pokemon game, which will be very nice. I mean, technically speaking, we already have like a berry farming thing, an apricorn farming thing. So we already have that. Thanks, Nintendo. That's precisely what we needed. Farming things, yes. That's what I wanted for my Pokemon game. Actually, I don't like using pure black. I'm gonna use dark gray. Yeah. I'm just not using the fill tool because I'm a bit scared that it might ruin everything. So, and it's a small piece. Doesn't worry me too much. Did I paint this? Yeah, see. this. So we're gonna do a little bit darker. Oh boy. Alright, yeah, the line art is not closed. That is okay. You said a bit ago that you haven't kept up with Pokemon since Gen 3. Well, for me, my favorite game is actually from Gen 4. And it is the remake or remaster or whatever of Gold and Silver. So Pokemon Soul Silver or Heart Gold. Those are my favorite. They are so good. They have so much content. It is insane. They have 2 whole regions in it. And once I figured that out, my brain exploded. I was like, whoa, I'm getting 2 games for the price of 1. Jesus, I played it so much. It's actually insane. Could do like this. Sample that. Actually. Yeah. I know, right? Insane. Like, I remember when I was little, I was playing Soul Silver, right? And in the minimap, not the minimap, the town map, you could see that Mount Silver, I think it's Mount Silver, was actually in Kanto. And I was like, why would they include Kanto in the map if I can't play the region itself, right? And I kid you not, I'm gonna explain exactly what happened. So, ignore the Pikachu there. So imagine, once you finish the Pokemon League, you have to go to a boat, right? And that boat basically has a specific cutscene that only happens if you defeat every trainer inside of that boat. The problem is, you have to find every trainer inside of that boat. And the way the layout worked was you would be on the hallway of the rooms, right? And because of the way that things are displayed on those old games, you would have things like this, where you would very clearly see what's a door and what's a wall, right? The problem is you would also have here this. But because of the perspective, my dumb ass didn't know that these are actually also rooms, right? So I visited every single one of these, but I never thought of visiting these. And I kid you not, I probably spent an entire year with that game without knowing that this was all I had to do to advance the cutscene, advance the progress in the game, and reach Kanto. I always thought to myself, if we have the region of Johto and we have Mount Silver over here saying that it's Kanto, maybe I need to go through Mount Silver to get to Kanto. No. You from Johto, you go through boat to Kanto, and then you go to Mount Silver to defeat Red. I didn't know that. Right? Now imagine like, what, 14, 15, maybe even before that, like maybe even 12 or 13-year-old me, my mind exploded. Like I felt it was galaxy braining, and but at the same time I felt really, really stupid about it. Yeah. And technically speaking, I haven't even completely finished the game because the end game, like the real end game, is super tough. You have to defeat Red, and he has like a level 90 Pikachu or something with a Volt Switch, which pretty much one-shots everyone and then switches out with another Pokemon. Like, ridiculous. Let's make it more greenish. Desaturated. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I have so many stories of just stupid, completely stupid moments in video games. I had one, which was like, so video games have licenses for different continents, right? And sometimes even for different countries. And what happens is, in Portuguese, you have Brazilian Portuguese. You have a lot of different versions of Portuguese because of how they use in history or whatever. You have Brazilian Portuguese, and then you have actually Portuguese from my country. And what happens is, there's not a lot of people in the world, at least in, what's it called? Relative to the entire world population, right? There's not a lot of people that actually speak Portuguese. So people don't go to the trouble of making games in this actual language. And what happened was I got a Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass in Spanish. You know, for the outside viewer, Portuguese and Spanish might seem the same thing, but Portuguese is not the same as Spanish, right? And it's kind of hard for me to sometimes read certain words in Spanish. Now imagine, this was even before Soul Silver, so I was like 9, 10 years old, trying to play a video game in a completely different language. And I kid you not, it took me like a year to finish Phantom Hourglass, because I remember this very well. You needed a hammer. Like, you needed a hammer that would, like, if Link if Link was sort of like in a seesaw, you could hammer the seesaw to launch him above walls, right? And I didn't have the hammer, but I could see the puzzle, right? I just didn't have the tool. And it was so infuriating because I was like, oh, if I could just cross the wall. And the solution was explicitly written. It's just I couldn't understand what they were saying. Like 60, maybe even 70% of the times. So I probably explored the entire map before I figured out where I had to go to pass the rest of the game, right? And most Zelda games have that gimmick, right? There's a central place that you need to go, and you pass like a third, and then you do other stuff, and then you go back and you pass another third, and then you do other stuff and go back, right? The same thing happens with Phantom Hourglass. You have the Ocean Temple, which you like could pass 10 floors, but then you would reach a place where you need a tool that you don't have, so you have to explore the rest of the map. And that's exactly what was happening with the hammer, right? I got to a point where I needed the hammer, and I didn't have it, and so I couldn't progress the story, and that like soft, quote unquote, soft locked me for like an entire year, and I feel like a dumbass for not being able to do it. Swear to God. Yeah, backtracking. The Zelda games like really want you to backtrack a lot just to make the game feel bigger than it actually is. But to be fair, the game was pretty enjoyable. Yeah, but at the time I was too stupid to even think there were online guides. So, I figured it out on my own, I guess. It is what it is. What can I say? My mind works on a different frequency. Yeah. And honestly, if I can, I try to keep myself away from guides. Like, sure, like taking an entire year to figure out the game feels way too difficult. But at the same time, if I saw the guide, I would immediately know what to do, and it would just ruin the fun for me. There are a lot of people out there that don't even enjoy the games anymore. Right? They go for the guides, how to min-max everything, and then complain that games aren't enjoyable anymore. It's like, explore a little. Who knows what you might get? Just like how we were talking about the other day, Dark Souls. It kind of rewards you for exploring. So you should definitely do it. And it also punishes you for playing, perfectly balanced, as all things should be. You could look up that exact part and it would say use the hammer, so you know to go look for it, but without spoiling. Yeah. But I'm like one of those people that once they're seeing it, they're gonna see everything, and I would completely spoil the entire game for myself. Not even joking. Also, I don't know why I drew these little lines. For me, like, the best way to prevent spoiling myself is just not even look up anything. Because I look up a tidbit and I end up with enough knowledge to fill the Library of Alexandria. Just don't. It also has that there. Alright. That is a mistake. I can fix that. No worries. We big chilling. The wheels also have that. Very well. But yeah, I was kind of done when I was younger. But luckily, through effort and study and time passing, I am no longer young. Find one of the oldest drawings, do not redraw it, but simply draw over it, rendering it as well as you can, while keeping the amateurish lines. But like traditional drawing? Oh my god. Dude, if it's traditional, I don't know. I'm feeling like making a mix. Like picking an old traditional drawing and painting digitally over it. I might do that. I have a few that I can use. Alright, we're gonna go crazy with layers. We're gonna try something funky. Let's see, if we do darken, this is an experimental session, right? It's experimental. We're gonna see. So the light is probably gonna be a cool light. So we need a warm shadow. Definitely. So shadows are warm. Right. Those are warm. Okay. Digital tools. Constantly thinking in the traditional headspace is like, nah, dude. Digital. Light. Maybe here. Did those emit light? Maybe a little bit. Might do something like this. That is it. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. Okay, almost the entirety of this Pokemon is covered in light. This is gonna be hard. Yeah. I'm really not enjoying. What about multiply? Alright, we need to calm down a little bit. A long challenge. Single challenge. What do you mean by that? Pick a free course from Ilustration and draw something based on what you learned after completing it. That might be interesting. That is actually a cool idea. Like, that's not even necessarily just an idea for a single challenge. Like, it almost feels like an idea for a course. For a series, right? A series where I pick up courses and like just to demonstrate how we can learn things for free on the internet. You know. It is actually an interesting concept. Might try that. I am not so sure if I'm enjoying this. Ooh. What have I done? Like, that painting is... Okay. What about overlay? Again, this is just me experimenting. Trying to learn something from this. Saving. Oh! What the hell happened? Right. So it's gonna be a lot of back and forth here. A cover or poster for a book, comic, film, video game, magazine. Yeah, maybe. That'd actually be not such a bad idea. I'm gonna be honest, one of my biggest problems is that I love learning about art and making it. I love the process. I hate putting it into practice. And I'm not even joking. There's something about putting the concepts that I learn into practice that is just, you know, and it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, you want to learn things to use them, you know, to improve your work, but for some reason my ape brain is just like, oh, I love to hear about perspective and color theory and things like that, and then when it comes time to actually apply them, nah, pass. Right? And sometimes I just go with myself, what do you mean pass? Yeah, like exercising our imagination is also very important, and I feel like I usually do that in bursts instead of consistently, which sucks. But at least it's good to know that someone has the same struggles as I have. Because I've been having a lot of troubles with that. A lot of times I just go, "What is wrong with you?" You know. Is forcing myself to do it soon. Yeah. I think the worst part about it is that um, doing it from imagination um, forces us to see really bad results, right? And having to face that side of the creative aspect of it all is really complicated. But I've also seen like a lot of professional artists saying that they don't work from imagination. The visual library that they have came from years and years of drawing with references. Yeah. So, yeah. I might have forgotten about these details on the tale, but nobody knows except us. We keep it to ourselves. We take it to the grave. And I think to some extent, it's like drawing from imagination is almost like a diagnostic to see how your vision is. Exactly. Like that was what I was thinking about. If you reach, if you understand human anatomy, you are able to draw it without reference. Right? Oh yeah. If you go with just references, you become reliant on them, and uh, yeah. That is a better practice. That is a guided practice. Right? because like if you're just doing anatomy with reference, like that's good professional etiquette, but in terms of personal growth, there's not a lot. There's not a lot. I don't want to do that. Okay, just put a layer here and do that. Go to some funky stuff. Just some color variation to it. Very hard thing to do. When we're starting out and we ask, how long did it take you to learn anatomy? Like, I just wish professionals were honest about it and just said, I haven't finished studying it yet because it takes a lifetime. I think it would set up the right mentality. I'll multiply. To be honest, I'm just throwing stuff at a wall now, just seeing what sticks. Yeah. And I do think like anatomy study lasts a lifetime. Because, or not lasts, like takes a lifetime. That's what I meant. I do think that's true. That's not to say that you can't work with what you have. Absolutely you can. But yeah, no doubt that you'd be studying it your entire life. It's popping out more. That's good. Maybe I'll try this approach instead. Yeah. That's true. I don't know. I don't know how people don't get tired of drawing the same thing. Man, I drew Tainari using a certain method, and I was proud. I'm proud of that piece, right? But I'm already using a different method. I don't know, man. I'm restless. The Tainari method was definitely something good. But I think I'm gonna like slow down on the variety, just focus maybe on Genshin characters or something. I don't know. I like their designs. Plus the Genshin community is kind of active. So might be good for me. Might find good artists there. I mean, what do I mean might? I will find good artists in that community. Definitely. But yeah. It's not bad. Do this, we'll do it that. It's not bad. People are crazy. Yeah, they are very dedicated. Yeah. This is just very dedicated, right? I don't understand. I don't know. It might be me that's weird, but like people get these fixations over shows, and then they just sketch the same characters over and over and over again, and they never get tired of it. How? I would enter art block if I drew the same character twice in a row, probably. There's one Spanish guy on here who's insanely good with like a few viewers. Yeah. Yeah. 39 out of 10 just right characters. Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get how people can do that. Here's a crazy challenge. Create a concept like this. Tie character design for Overwatch IP. Tara. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I just thought right now. Like, I can't do this. This is like too high quality for me. And my mind immediately starts going like this. This is why I haven't gotten anywhere, right? My mind does this. Design Overwatch character, right? That requires video game character. So we need to study video games, right? Specifically, we need to study Overwatch aesthetic. So it feels there. Then character. You need a turnaround. You need expression. What's the name of it? Expression sheet or whatever, right? With different expressions. You need clothes. You need props. Right? With the turnaround and with the expression, you need an enemy. My mind immediately does this, and when I look at all the work that I need to do something of this level, I get overwhelmed. Which is ironic because I'm already like decomposing everything to bite-sized pieces. But when I look at it, right? And then in props, it really depends, like weapons and, you know? Oh my god, they even designed like different skins, environment. See, this is the type of thing that I bet gets people hired. But just looking at this, I feel overwhelmed. Right? You know what, I'm gonna download this. Yeah. Just like, could I do it? I don't know. But I never get to the point of actually trying. That's more or less how I feel about it, you know? Does that work? Or is that weird? Looks like this. I think that's a bit weird. I might have some it's not it. That's how I feel about it. Like, I immediately feel defeated before I even start. Living proof right in front of me that it is possible to do it. And yeah. Not here. That was a pretty cool thing though. That was a pretty cool project. You can do it pretty much every thing as you're willing. Yeah. I think one thing that I realized recently is that to actually achieve certain goals, you need to be optimistic by nature. Because like just because we can do something doesn't mean we will be able to do it, right? Just because there's a possibility doesn't mean we will, because there's a competition usually, and the odds are stacked against you, you know? And right at the beginning, I feel like very defeated, I think. Please only stick one of those which animal are you quizzes and draw the animal you get. Yeah. 50 characters from space are constantly. It's just, yeah. There's something about the file that you sent, you know, splash arts just shake me to my core. Like, I think right now I need more momentum when it comes to creating things. Because, like, having ideas is so easy, dude. So easy. But I'm in this block right now. in my mind it was like, that's not a good enough idea. It's like, dude, doing something is better than doing nothing. Put all this into a folder. Okay, there's something absolutely fantastic. Wait, I can change this, can't I? Yes, I can. Why doesn't the circle grow? When you get affiliate, you can get viewers to give you prompts for channel points. Yeah, I thought about that. It's just that I need to get affiliate. That's not gonna happen so soon, I think. Because, like, I need an average of 3 viewers, I think. Right now I'm at 1.5, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, ellipse is much easier. Okay. Yeah. Right now I'm at 1.5 viewers or something. So, you know, it's gonna take some time, definitely. I mean, one of my friends actually suggested that, but I don't know. That feels kind of disingenuous. I mean, that is also true. It is what it is. But I don't know if I can blur this. Motion blur in the angle. Radial blur. I mean, the same way that, you know, you show up here and we have these conversations. It's not motion. It's what is it? It's visual. You know, some people might eventually stumble onto the stream and talk a bit. You know? Why is it doing that? I just gotta keep at it. I already have the VOD from yesterday to edit because I told the story about pissing myself. That was a fun one, and yeah. I think the background is definitely interesting. I am also spitballing how I'm doing it, so. There we go. Maybe darken this part a little bit just for bigger contrast. Yeah, unfortunately it did. No worries though. Check the VOD out. Let me see. It's about. So it was yesterday's VOD. It's at around like 2 hours 8 minutes. 2 hours 8 minutes 30 seconds, I think. Yeah. Around that time, I started talking about pretty much piss stories. I go on a tangent and then I remember I actually pissed myself one time when I was like 12 or 13. Way too late for me to be pissing myself. Whatever. Oh right, this has perspective and then damn. Even the effects perspective. Oh, it definitely looks more alive now. Although I do feel the coloring is a bit weird. So. Yeah. Just gonna save. Looks sick. Yeah. I don't think there's much more to do in this piece, honestly. Yeah, I think that's it. Overall, not a big fan of the method, but it was good to try something slightly different. I still prefer the way that I did Ainari. So yeah, I might do that. Yeah, I might dedicate myself a little bit more to Genshin characters because I really like how they look. And I'll definitely think about the points you made on challenges and things like that. And yeah, I'll start planning for it. I'll start planning. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be done here for today. Tomorrow I'll be back at the same time. I was actually wrong on the previous streams. It's not GMT, it's actually GMT +1. So I apologize for anyone that might guide themselves through that. But yeah, tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m. GMT +1. And it was great. It was great having you here. I think we had a great time. Talked about a lot of different stuff. And, you know, can't wait to do it more tomorrow. I'll decide on a new character to draw, maybe from Genshin. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.